Hello and welcome to NJBIZ Conversations. I'm your host, Jeff Kanige. My guest today is Cliff Hoinowski. He is the CEO of Sunsign in Flemington. It's a maker of solar-powered signs. Cliff, welcome.
Uh, Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for taking the time to do it. I appreciate it. I want to get into what's interesting about your signs because I think it's an interesting product, especially for this in this point in time. But first, I want to get a little bit about your background and how you got to this point. My understanding is you were the CEO of essentially a parking management services company. How did you end up then making solar signs? What got you from parking to signs? Even though you've got a parking sign behind you, I see that. So.
That's exactly what brought me here.
Okay.
The well, sun signs do have a huge benefit and bonus to them, that the sustainability aspect, where they're completely solar powered.
Right.
They bring people into use of solar product without, where they're actually getting functionality out of it. It
Hmm.
was the first reason we came up with these was for the functionality. It was in parking, like you could imagine. We're often in we did a lot of event parking where we'd be in a dimly lit field, or even in front of a parking garage,
Sure.
or valet parking aspects. You never had a lot of light. So it's one thing we realized early on is visibility was extremely important. It's
Hmm.
important for wayfinding. It's important for a revenue generation if you want customers to see you, and it's important for safety. I mean, safety of our employees that were out at work, and safety for any of our patrons that were coming in. So this was just natural. It was a natural fit for the parking industry to begin with. It was something that provided, hit every nail on the head and provided all those aspects, uh, uh, on a functional perspective.
Okay.
But then, as a bonus, we found the most efficient way to power them was through solar. So solar has come a long way over the years. I mean, people
Sure.
always often think of like one of those garden lights that might not work in the winter
Right. Right.
time, or
Yeah.
it's much more advanced than
Okay.
where we were back then, and we are able to get the illumination. It's 1200 lumens, double
Right.
sided, independent messages, and it works. It
Okay.
works on getting customers in. It works on providing additional safety. It works on providing additional wayfinding.
Okay. All right. So did these sorts of things exist when you were running the parking company, or was it something you came up with and said we've got to develop this, or did you build one yourself and and go from
Uh,
there?
we built one ticket from there. It was
Okay.
the parking company. We went through a couple decades in parking. Then we had there was consolidation in the industry. We ended up getting an offer bought out by another company.
Okay.
Um, and this was something I always wanted to do. But you find that life gets in the way. You don't have the time to do it. Uh, that allowed me, or the benefit of time for a little bit at least, to pursue this. And we did multiple tries over a couple of years to get it right and get it at 100%. Finally, in the end, we did get a triple patent on it. We have the utility patents on it, and we're just starting to get it out there now. It's launching, early stages of a commercialization.
Okay, very good. Well, I was going to ask you about the technology. Was it? You said you have a couple of patents for it. So was the technology was then not off the shelf, was it? I mean, you had to develop some of the things that make this actually work.
It has, yeah, absolutely. It has a custom solar controller
Okay.
in it, and what with that, that's pretty much the brains of the unit. That's going to tell you, sun's coming into the panels. It's going to tell it when to turn on, when to turn off. It comes on and off automatically. Has a remote control capability to it. And most importantly, was getting the efficiency out of it we needed.
Okay.
We needed the efficiency to have it run at full brightness for the duration of the evening hours when people
Right.
would be open.
Right.
Um, Multiple tries to get there, but I mean, practice makes perfect, right? And
Right.
we did a couple tries to get there. Finally, we found something that I think is as close as possible to perfection that we could get. I'm never going to say 100% because there's
Right. Right.
always something that could come up. Um, but we're there. It works. It does its job perfectly, and I hope a lot of people find benefit out of it.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the signs then themselves. As folks can see, it's right behind you. They're what, about 2 or 3 feet tall, two or 3 feet wide. I mean, they're rectangles, obviously. So about 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. They're fully portable. Yes, I see. There's a handle that you can move it around. It's got wheels, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, they're fully molded. They were made to be very similar to the like an A-frame sign
Right.
or one of the wind signs you see
Mhm.
out there. We wanted it to be a standard size that people expect.
Right.
It's those sizes have been developed, I guess, over the years through what was most ideal. And I mean, the size, uh, we were going to follow that path and also do what was ideal with it. The portability aspect is still there. This could fit across the back seats of a vehicle. We have a handle on it. There are wheels that could come attached to it.
Right.
We wanted to make it as easy to transport as possible too, because if you are in an area that doesn't have a lot of light, often you got to bring the sign there.
Okay.
Technically, once it's in place, it could be there 24/7. You hit a button on the side and it'll operate itself. So
Okay.
every night when it gets dark, it'll come on. And then obviously when there's light, it'll shut off.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
that's a good point. That was the next thing I was gonna ask you about was the fact that yes, they do work at night, and that's why I sort of asked about the technology, and that is the storage and keeping the charge from I guess it charges all when the sun is out, and then when the sun goes down, it's nighttime. It turns itself on. Was that available? Did you have to sort of kind of because that's been an issue, as I'm sure you know, with a lot of alternative energy sources that when the wind stops or the sun goes out, where do we get the power from? And you've got something that lasts, if I recall correctly, 6 or 7 hours with at night. Is that right?
we're actually over 8.
8. Okay,
So
very good.
we always improve the efficiency when we can. And a lot of that was looking at the battery technology as that
Okay.
becomes more efficient. But you also have to keep in mind, like we went with seal lead acid batteries versus lithium.
Okay.
Lithium batteries may be the most efficient storage, but there are some concerns or safety issues if it's standalone. And there also is there's an issue with the temperature ranges. If
Okay.
you have a product that's outside 24 hours a day,
Right.
you have to take into consideration the hottest it could get in different areas of the world to the lowest temperature could get as well. And the same with the plastic, where we had to learn with the plastic on the outside, and it was we learned that quickly where we were utilizing a PVC. We went to something that had a higher temperature range after the fact because we have a distributor in Dubai.
Hmm.
So they had a heat wave where it was,
Oh my.
I believe it was around 125 degrees,
Okay.
and they were actually experiencing a little bit of melting. And it was like,
Wow.
so
Okay.
something that we couldn't fathom here. And we
Right.
didn't come
No, not in New
test
Jersey.
this.
I don't think you have that problem. Freezing, wet, cold, slush, all that kind of stuff, maybe, but 120 degrees, I don't think we're not going to see that yet. Anyway.
Yeah. um, so I mean, all those little issues, it's were worked out in that regard to
Okay.
make sure that it's also a product that internationally could work under almost any conditions.
Okay.
It's from the coldest points to the hottest points. Granted, there's some exceptions. I don't know if if we put it up in Fairbanks where it hits -40,
Hmm.
there aren't many ways to.
Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, people who drive electric cars have the same problem. If you're up north and it's winter and your battery's just not going to last as long.
Correct.
Right.
But that constantly improves. If you look at where solar has come, if you look at where batteries have come,
Hmm.
and the efficiency of them has just constantly, it's on a plane straight up, and I think that plane is still, is continuing to go each and
Okay.
every year. They become more and more efficient.
Right. Okay. Now, but it does have, if I recall correctly, it does have an AC adapter in case the sun, it's a cloudy day, it doesn't charge up. You need it to go more than you say 8 hours now. You can still plug it in and still get that.
The AC adapter was there predominantly for we had some clients early on in beta testing where they didn't use it during the day.
Oh, okay.
It was they had it out just at night.
Oh, okay.
So if you're gonna have it out just at night, it doesn't have the opportunity to charge under the sun. You do have the option of plugging it in. Um, the same thing if you're going to utilize it indoors. A solar product isn't going to work too well
Right.
indoors if you don't have the sun. But we did want to provide that as an option for anyone that wanted to take that route. This way also dual use. We would have some customers that put it outside. It's great when the sun is running it. But if they also want it outside and inside, they have both options available to them.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned that you just press a button on the side, so they're relatively easy to use. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to program it or anything like that, or you just flick a button and off it goes. Does it so?
You put it under the sun, press a button, and I'll tell you what, I'll turn it on for you.
Okay, go ahead, please. Let's see.
And you can see the panels are on the
Yep.
bottom.
Hmm.
and it's the same thing. And
Oh, very nice. Okay, there you go. Okay, well, that's pretty bright. Yes. Yeah. Okay, very good. All right, but when you sell them, a person gets that sign, right? There's no, you don't, they don't, there's no ability to change it or anything like that. This is what you get. It just
it is it does have quick change graphics.
okay.
So we made it so it's as easy as possible for people to change the graphics. It's very similar to any other sign you may see out there. It's both sides are independent. There is no
Okay.
bleed going through them, so you can have a different message on both sides, different color, and the options are endless. I mean, we had people doing for graduations,
Hmm.
doing
Okay.
testing, and they put full photos of their children on there. Congratulations! It's there is no limitations to what you can put in terms of graphics as long as it's put on translucent.
Okay.
It's
All right.
and for the most part, any sign shop knows exactly what to do.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So yeah, and so okay, so that's an interesting point too. Then is a sign shop can make something to make that piece of it there that goes in
They will, we provide the graphics panels,
uh-huh.
and then what they would normally do is there's a couple different variants, but some prefer to do printing right on the panels,
Okay.
and others prefer to do an insert. So
Okay.
they'll do a translucent decal or a translucent insert behind, and it gives it the same effect. I think it's more of a personal preference of the sign shop on which way they'd like to go with the graphics.
Okay. Now you've mentioned a couple of times you've mentioned customers and people using them, so they're out there and you're selling them now. I mean, where are you in terms of getting it to the point where you're ready for the big time, as it were?
We're at the very early stages of commercialization.
Okay.
So it's they're getting out there now. It's I think it was a natural fit that early on a lot went to parking companies. It could be self-fulfilling that that's the industry I came out of,
Right.
and so a lot of benefit too. So we did have a lot of early parking customers that came in to buy them to advertise everything from parking rates to use in fields to help with the wayfinding. But now I think universities and hospitals have been catching on. Where
Okay.
so we look at a hospital situation where wayfinding is extremely important.
Hmm.
It's where people say a matter of life or death, but it actually could be. That people get to the right
Right.
place, that they're going quickly and efficiently. So this truly helps at night. But then also, if you do look at retail customers in general, and if you look at getting people into a shop or a store, there's always this statistic I like to cite to people. When it was FedEx did commissioned a study a couple years back, where they found in excess of 70% of the people that enter a store for the first time do so because of the signage. It was the number one
Oh,
item on it that the signs are what affected their opinion most. It wasn't the location,
right.
of the establishment. It wasn't the overall look of the establishment. It was purely the signage. It was number one reason why they went there.
Oh,
So I'm
interesting.
like,
Okay.
something like this, if you can't see a sign, then it does nothing at all. You're going to have
Right.
no
Right.
effect. So with this, if that fits into that mold, that's going to also assist in that regard.
All right. So the market is I mean, fairly large. I mean, the potential market anyway. You're talking about hospitals, colleges, and universities, and retailers and parking companies and things like that. I mean, it's virtually anybody who wants to direct people to get in and out of a piece of property who would be interested.
There's more signs in the world than there are people. So,
Right.
so it is a huge market. It can be beneficial to a lot of people in a lot of regards. Um, I think that it also shows that being the sustainability aspect of it, it does show customers that they do have
Right.
awareness or caring of that. But yeah, restaurants, retail, the parking industry, universities, hospitals, airports, stadiums. I think this
Yeah,
sign
sure.
from stadiums and
Hmm.
arenas. Um, they all have a major beneficial use in any of those venues.
Okay. Now, I mean, it's portable. This model. Are you thinking about other configurations or something more permanent? I mean, where does this go from here, do you think?
We have ones that are in beta testing now that both sides. We have larger models that are in beta
Okay.
testing, and we actually have a smaller yard sign type
Oh, okay. Hmm.
sign that's also in development. It's and anywhere you see a sign at night, I mean that's eventually where we want to get headed is. I mean, even if you see a street sign, where you can't read it, and
Sure.
a vehicle slowing down to look and try to read that sign, that could be lit up, that could be
Okay.
illuminated, that could help people. It's there is no limitations on where we could place them, or the size that we could place them. We looked at this and said it was one of the most marketable to begin with, and that's kind of why we went uh, in that direction, to have this as our initial commercial launch.
Okay, all right. So you said you're in the late stages of commercialization. Are you still looking for investors? What is the what's the company look like now, and what do you think the prospects are for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we are. We're always open to
Okay.
best way to put that. We're always open to other people's thoughts. We're open to investment. We brought it to this point, had the molds made, brought it to the point where we have a product that is, like I said, as close to perfect as I think we could get it at this point in time. Things can improve if efficiency continues to improve, but we will always make those changes. And we're at the very early stages of commercialization. We ended up finding that we had a lot of interest that found us from overseas.
Okay.
So we had a EU interest coming out of the EU. We had Dubai in the Middle East. We have a distributor in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait.
Oh, very interesting.
But
Okay.
they found us. So it was amazing, because when we're trying to get the word out there, that someone all the way around the other side of the world could find the product and reach out to us, interested in it.
Okay. All right. And finally, before I let you go, doing business here, everything working out the way you the way you want it to. I mean, people are obviously finding you from all over the world. So
Absolutely, I think New Jersey is a great place to do business. I mean, we have I think one of the best workforces in the world, one of the most efficient and educated workforces in the world, and we're in the middle of everything. So you do have the ability to the ports are right here. If we're shipping overseas, that's great. If we're shipping to the other side of the country, or even the Midwest, that's great as well. It's there's a lot of advantages to being here.
Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, we will leave it there. If folks are interested, I know you have a contact form on your website. Is that the best way to get a hold of you if folks are interested in exploring this idea?
That is, or they could also email. You can email sales@sunsigncontrols.com.
Okay.
Or check us out on the website. It's phone numbers, other contact information are there. We could put you in touch with distributors as well if interested in having the product, or even if you want a demonstration of it, get in touch with me directly. I can give a demo of it and show them exactly what it does.
Okay, and there are links to all of those things in the post that's accompanying this video. So if anybody's interested, you can check it out. Cliff Hoinowski, CEO of Sunsign, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate
Thank you.
the time, and best of luck with this idea. It looks great.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe, everyone.